She offered no explanation, nor did she need to. My grandmother was not prone to panic. She was as resilient as forged steel, a product of a generation that had endured hardship and war. When fear fractured her voice, it was unequivocally genuine, so I heeded her warning. I veered my vehicle away from my street. Mere moments later, a kaleidoscope of red and blue lights erupted in my rearview mirror. A procession of police cruisers descended upon my block like a pack of vultures. In that instant, I comprehended that I had been set up. I found no rest that night. I sat shrouded in the shadows of a 24-hour diner, staring at an untouched coffee mug replaying the scene in a loop. The authorities were not pursuing my neighbors, they were after me, and there was only one individual who could have orchestrated this. Emily, my fiancée, the woman I once envisioned as my future. I met her when my emotional defenses were down, and my heart was an open book. She was a blend of captivating charm and absolute certainty. The kind of woman who made you feel like you were the sole person in existence. My friends described her as a perfect catch. My grandmother, however, simply narrowed her eyes. "Be vigilant," she'd said calmly. "Some smiles are sharpened blades." I dismissed her advice then. I desperately wanted to believe in her, but I have since learned that affection is the perfect camouflage for treachery. The initial signs of deceit were subtle. Business trips that had no corresponding receipts, calls she would abruptly step out to take, her sudden preoccupation with my personal finances, where I stored my savings, how much and what passwords I used. I did not confront her right away. I feigned ignorance, but I began to observe her the way a hunter studies its quarry silently and patiently. Then I uncovered it. An account created in my name filled with funds I never deposited. Transfers from companies where I had never been employed. She was constructing a convoluted trail, a paper trap designed to ensnare me. She didn't love me. She was orchestrating my downfall. That night when the police raided my street, I finally understood the timing. She had acted swiftly, perhaps, too swiftly, eager to erase me, while feigning innocence to my parents, ready to play the part of the grieving fiancé after my demise. But my grandmother's timely call derailed her entire script, and I was not about to let the curtain fall on me. I didn't flee. To run would imply guilt. Instead, I formulated a plan. Become publicly invisible, but not physically absent. No communication with Emily or with any friend she could manipulate. Only my grandmother was privy to my location. Accumulate evidence. I infiltrated my apartment when I knew she was gone. I copied her hard drives, her emails, and the encrypted folder on her laptop she believed was impenetrable. Inside were documents, wire transfers, and conversations with unknown associates. Every item meticulously linked me to offenses. I had not committed money, laundering, fraud, theft, but in her hubris, she left behind her own clues. Personal notes and instructions she forgot to delete, enough to completely reverse the narrative. Align with influential figures. I didn't go to the police. Not yet. I went higher. I hired a private investigator. My grandmother vouched for a lawyer who owed her favors and a journalist with a nose for a major scoop. We methodically built the case, proving not just my innocence, but her guilt. 3 weeks later, she called me. Her voice was smooth and calculated. "Where are you? People are worried. I'm worried." I nearly laughed. Instead, I let the silence hang. Then, I asked, "Do you ever feel anxious, Emily, that the lies you weave might entangle you instead?" Her prolonged silence confirmed that she knew I had discovered her scheme. The resolution arrived with a whimper, not a bang. No gunshots, no dramatic pursuit, only headlines. Local businesswoman accused of fraud and money laundering. Evidence links her to multiple scams. By the time law enforcement arrived at her door, her entire fabrication had already collapsed under the weight of its own exposure. Her face was splashed across every news channel, not as a heartbroken fiancé, but as a criminal mastermind undone by her own machinations. And as for me, I walked freely through the city, unshackled and beyond suspicion, because I didn't just contest her story, I completely rewrote it. I saw her one last time before they took her away. In the courthouse, in handcuffs, her eyes scanning the assembled crowd. When her gaze met mine, her lips parted to form my name as if it were a question. I drew closer so only she could hear my words. "You wanted me in a cage," I whispered, "but look who's behind bars." Her face twisted in a mixture of rage, disbelief, and profound humiliation. It was all the vindication I needed. Now, when I sit at my grandmother's kitchen table, she occasionally asks if I have any regrets. I do not. Regret is for those who are blind to the truth. I saw clearly. I acted with precision. Emily taught me one invaluable lesson. Betrayal is a weapon you never see coming, but revenge is a mirror. You hand the betrayer their own tool and watch them destroy themselves. And me. I didn't just survive. I became the author of my own conclusion. So guys, now it's your turn. What did you learn from this story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.